Hey, this is Jake with Associate PI. Welcome to part 8, the final video of our CPCU 500 video series. In this final video, we are covering the CPCU 500 exam passing grade. Once again, this video is presented by Associate PI. We are an independent organization, independent of the CPCU and the institutes. We are just a bunch of CPCUs ourselves that are here to help you pass your CPCU 500 exam. So let's get started. Again, this is the 8th and final video of our 8-part CPCU 500 video series. Congrats if you made it this far. If this is your first video, you can go check out the other videos at AssociatePI.com/videos. So this, as we mentioned in one of our previous videos, is the second hardest exam. The current pass rate of this exam is 70%. It is meaning out of everybody that takes the exam, only 70% of the students that attempt the exam pass the exam. So it's the second most failed exam, only behind the CPCU 540. So that means about 1 in every 4, 1 in every 3, or right around there, students will fail this exam. So it's very tough. You have to take it seriously. And also, coincidentally, the passing grade, meaning out of the 60 question multiple choice answer options, the passing grade for the CPCU 500 is also a 70%. So you have to get 70% of the questions correct to pass this exam. If you don't get 70% correct, you will fail. It's a pass-fail, so it's either you pass and move on, or you fail and have to retake the exam. So here we go. We need a 70% on this exam to pass. So that means out of 60 multiple choice questions, that you need to answer at least 42 of them correctly. So 42 questions out of 60 questions is about a 70%. That means you can get 18 questions wrong and still pass. So that's a good amount of questions that you can get wrong. I'm pretty confident that you'll have no problem answering 42 questions correct out of these 60 questions, 60 multiple choice questions on this exam. And once again, just a final recap, these are the 8 chapters of the CPCU 500: risk management, loss exposure, risk assessment, risk control, risk financing, big data, insurance policy, and insurance concepts. So chapters 4 and chapter 5 are extremely important: risk control and risk financing. We talked about this in one of the previous videos. I recommend you go back and check that out. We give a lot more detail, but just my quick tip, focus on chapter 4 and 5. Those are important. And that's it for our 8-part video series. If you've made it this far, I highly recommend you go ahead and download our free practice exam. You need as much practice as possible. Remember, you only need to get 42 correct. So here we're giving you a bunch of free questions just so you can practice even more and become familiar with the concept. We're also giving you our 10 steps on how to pass the exam and a free study guide to point out what's important and what topics you need to know before you take the exam. So if you want to download the free study guide, go over to AssociatePI.com/practice exam. And if you need more resources, I recommend you check out our free blogs over at AssociatePI.com/CPCU500, where we have detailed blog posts breaking down the difficulty, the exam questions, exam format, and what to expect. And that's it. This concludes our 8-part CPCU 500 video series. If you want to go back and review any of the other videos, or if this is your first video and you're just getting started, go back and start from the beginning. Go to AssociatePI.com/videos to see all of the 8-part videos to our CPCU 500 video series. And that's it. I'm pretty confident you're going to pass the CPCU 500 exam. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me at contact@AssociatePI.com. I answer all of my emails. I answer them personally, so feel free to ask me any questions. I'd be happy to help. And that's it. Good luck on the exam.